unmuting myself to say hello. Welcome to another session of Final Fantasy X with me. I'm Thistle. I'm also Morgan. And joining me, you're going to get some game audio in here as well, but joining me is Josh. Say hi, Josh.
I like that I'm accompanied with theme music.
You are accompanied with theme music. I don't know how to not have the theme music go while you're talking as well. So
that requires a whole different setup.
Yeah. So you guys can be just lovely serenaded with the lovely bouncy music of Mihen High Road, which is what we are on currently. 2 weeks ago, we came to the town of Luca. We played some blitzball. We rescued Yuna from some would-be kidnappers. And we won a blitzball game by the skin of our teeth. Woohoo! We got our trophy for Waka. We hooked up with Sir Aaron. And now we are... Oh, they're sin attacked. Whatever. And now we are back on our pilgrimage to the next temple, which I believe is the Jose Temple. And to do that, we need to go through the Mihen High Road. So...
I was going to pause you for a second. You said... I played this game, and not all of it, but I don't recall ever hooking up with Aaron.
Yeah,
Are we playing two different games?
I wish. No, so we got Sir Aaron to join our party, and juicy, Aaron told us the big secret of the game, which is that Sin is Jet, and Jet is Titus's dad. So that's a lot of stuff we're gonna unpack, but like that John Mulaney joke, we don't have time for that. Where you gotta go fight monsters. So we're gonna start this by doing the thing that we should be doing, which is talking to every single person on the road. This guy should have given us something.
Give us some nice text.
Maybe. So on Mihen High Road, the reason why I had Josh come visit to talk is that the Mihen High Road is full of encounters. I think the game audio might be a little high. I'm gonna just turn that down really quickly.
Everything sounds fine.
Okay, it's loud for me, so I'm just gonna nudge it down a little bit. Okay. Bump, 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 bump. Okay. The Mihen High Road is full of encounters. It's an opportunity for you to really level up. Special. So it's kind of grindy. Oh yeah. And I wanted Josh to come and fill the silences while I got into a bunch of encounters.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own extensive Final Fantasy history of 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 10-2 and 15 and 14. A whole bunch of games in between. So I'm very well aware of the grind and how important it can be.
Mm-hmm.
For Final Fantasy 8, I ended up stopping my entire progressions because I had to verse Raijin and Fujin and couldn't beat them because I didn't grind enough and couldn't go out of town to go grind. So I ended up having a somewhat fail state, or at least one that I didn't know how to get around because of not grinding. So I completely understand this process.
Yeah, so I can't level up Titus or Waka right now because I don't have any ability spheres. Just a real bummer. But we are going to move this fellow along.
Now, remind me, because I've asked a few times, but this system is very intricate. The ability spheres that you get, can you socket any ability sphere into any slot? Like, it looks like some have a grayed out, like, sword or something there.
Okay, so yeah, these different icons mean different things. So, for instance, the, let's see if I can find a good one. So, the shield one raises your defense by 3 points. The H brings your health points up. The shield raises your strength, and I believe all three of those. Hold on. Yes, all three of those are activated by power spheres.
Okay.
Speed spheres activate agility, accuracy, and evasion nodes. Manospheres activate magic, magical defense, or MP nodes. And then if I go, I don't have an ability sphere, but ability spheres are only for abilities, I believe. There are also luck spheres that activate luck, and there are spheres like this, the ones that are in white. Those ones will change. Like right now, Kimahri's technically on an empty sphere. Those will change into, like if I wanted to do this, bonk, that's now an HP sphere, which I can use a power sphere to activate.
Okay. So there is a predetermined allocation, but with some customization based on what spheres you put in.
Yes. So there are options where you can kind of customize the sphere grid with the empty nodes. Now, the ones that change the nodes into different spheres are rarer, obviously. And the customization really goes into where you decide to put your characters after their initial sphere line. So you can see with Kimahri, there's this level 2 lock over here. If I wanted to, I could ignore all of this with Kimahri, and I could unlock this level 2 sphere and go into Eunice track. And I could have Kimahri basically be another healer or support character for, you know, nullifying certain types of damage, doing healing, and that would be a very valid choice to put Kimahri in there.
Right. I remember some cross-class capability in this system.
Yeah. So then, to do. Oh, hi, Ugly Ivanhoe. Oh, yes, we're talking about the sphere thing, which I'm trying to figure out how to make this.
While you're figuring that out, also, Ugly Ivanhoe, since you let us know who you are in Discord, how would you like us to address you in this? And if so, how do you pronounce it if it is your name in Discord?
There it is. Alright, we'll wait for that. So now it's big. So you can see that Kimahri is located next to Titus, Yuna. Down here is Riku. We don't have that activated yet because we don't have Riku in here. Auron is accessible pretty easily, so is Waka, and Lulu is down here. So he's pretty centrally located to all of the others, but there are other spheres called teleport spheres and friend spheres where you can teleport characters to other locations. So let's say I wanted to bring him all the way down here. I could do that with, you know, spheres if they are, I think if they're activated. So yeah, there are a lot of things you can do with this. I tend to fill out Kimahri's base sphere grid, which is much smaller than everybody else's, simply because he is designed. Told. Okay. All right. Cool. So he's got a smaller sphere grid. He's kind of designed to be a more customizable character and have him go into other like sphere grids. So I usually bring him into Riku because it's very beneficial to have another thief on the team. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do in here. Bringing him down into Lulu's is another excellent choice. So
staring at this just brings me into Path of Exile territory. I don't think you've dipped into Path of Exile, but imagine Diablo with a grid setup that is like this and more.
Oof. Okay, let me get out of here.
It is. It's huge. It is a little overwhelming.
Do I have any...
Told is curious where you're going to go after completing Kimahri's main grid.
Probably Riku. I like having another thief in, and there is a certain key, I think it's a level 3 key spheres that are very rare in the game. But you can, by making Kimahri a thief, the thief has a fight later on with other Ronso that it is only him in the fight. He's the only person who can fight them. And they are chock-a-lock full of those level 3 key spheres. So the first time I played, I was like, I want to do all this level 3 like key sphere unlocking, but I don't have any of these things. I was in Omega Ruins. I was trying really hard to find them. And I looked it up and it was like, oh yeah, I think it's Buteron and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they're the guys that you meet in Luca, where Kimari kind of gets into a tussle right before Yuna gets kidnapped. You have kind of like a weird standoff fight with them later. And if you can just steal from them and steal from them and steal from them and like lance it to keep your health up, like you can just get so many of them. So very helpful to have Kimari to have that ability, if only if you just want to do that, and then you can like move him to other things. But it's also helpful when you're in the desert, when you have a lot of the robots, to have 2 thieves, because you can kind of just steamroll your way through there. Because stealing from them destroys them. So
You just like steal their wires or something?
Yeah, I don't exactly know how it works, but the little Albed machines, if you steal from them, they just like fall apart. So I imagine from Riku's perspective, she knows how they're built, so she can just like rip out their like central processing core, but they do not go into a ton of explanation on that. Is there anything?
Told mention stealing also means no XP. What does that mean for you?
Does it? I don't think I knew that. But yeah,
when destroying Machina.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think I knew specifically that. Good to know.
See, that's interesting because, like, from a D&D perspective, like, that's still experience. It's just experience for solving the problem differently.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to code into your game of like, hey, you found an interesting way to bypass this. No XP for you, though.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking in my equip because one of the times I played this, I got a Moogle for Lulu that distilled ability, which would be very helpful right now. But all right, we are gonna go. Did I talk to him? I did. Okay, so last time I think I talked to this guy up here first, and then I went back and I saved. Okay, so that's the Lord Mihan. And then we're gonna
I'm glad that was a statue because I was about to say that is a very large man.
He is a very large boy. Okay, so I have an ability on Titus's sword right now called Distill Speed. And so I'm gonna attack these little fast boys with a Distill Speed ability, which will drop more speed activation spheres. So.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
That is a hell of a looking sword Titus has there. To me, and I don't know if it's because of like the slight bit of compression I have, but it looks like a piece of fish that is filleted.
It does have a little bit of like a Polynesian fish hook kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. But like the texture looks like the red of a tuna and then like the scales on the outside, which is very fitting with all the, island life and such.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. No. Ambushed. Yeah. Okay. So this guy hits hard. Ow, ow. And this is Titus that we've got in here. So let's get Auron in here. And we're going to...
You will hurt no one.
Kind of just lower his power, or like lower his attack, I believe. Waka, we're going to use Dark Attack on this guy. It is very helpful and helps you evade a lot of his attacks. Bonk. Okay. So another really good person for these guys is Kimari because he has piercing on his weapon, and that is pretty helpful. I'm pretty sure also we can use Lancet and learn an ability from him.
Now, what does piercing do directly? Does it bypass an armor stat?
Yeah. So I believe how it is that piercing does a better job at getting through like tougher enemies, like defenses.
Okay.
So the reason why Auron is like a very good addition to your team is that he's got a heavier sword. He's got piercing on it, so he's slower, but he does a lot of damage with it. Kimari is a little bit of the same. He can hit harder and get through more of the armor of an enemy. Titus doesn't have that much impact on the armor, but he's fast, so he's better for like the faster, like more agile enemies.
Yeah, normal balance. Slower, more power, faster, lesser attacks.
Yes. Let's do that. Bonk. Okay. Yeah. So darkness means that we can evade a little bit better. Let's overdrive, and we can,
Oh, told. Yes, thank you. I am. I am feeling better. For those chat thoughts. Bucky and I got hit real hard after the second vaccine. I was in a 102 fever state. It was a time over the weekend, but as of today, except for like a little bit of neck pain, I'm good to go. Vaccinated, waiting the 2 weeks to be like fully up. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Yesterday, after it was one of my more busy work days I've had lately, mostly because Blue Bloods end of season is happening right now, so a lot of work on my part. And the thought of sitting in this chair, staring at a screen for 2 hours without moving off camera was horrendous to me. I couldn't do it. So we're continuing Secret of Monkey Island next week for that.
I got a cool hunter sphere from that dude, so we're gonna swap that out. And then this girl, hey, where is he? All right, we can talk to this guy.
Ah, Lady Yuna's guardians, I presume.
Oh, okay. There's
Wow, they got a voice line and everything, and that was it?
Well, he
Actually,
talked
does
to us
everyone
before.
in this game, is it voice actor?
No.
Or voiceover? No.
It's very inconsistent. So like that guy talked to us earlier, so he has a voice, a voice acted, but like even some of the Besaid Aurochs, like they have voice actors, they have voice acted lines, but they sometimes they'll just have like text dialogue and not actual acted. Okay, so I opened that. I guess I ran a little bit down here.
Don't break any bones, old man.
Told says we'll just have to follow the monkey companion in ESO to get my Guybrush time. Yeah, I've been enjoying the game. I haven't touched my sorcerer because I want to do that on stream, although I should do some stuff off stream. But I end up getting an ESO Plus account or whatever that's called, so I can have access to the components bag, which has been life-changing in terms of inventory space. I made Scratching Post for my old Nerd Immersion Princes of the Apocalypse game. So that was a Tabaxi Barbarian, so I'm making the equivalent in this. And with our other friends, we're all making cat characters.
Bring it on.
So I may play my normal character, I may play my alt character, switch between. But I'm looking forward to playing more of that on stream. I know John is playing that actually right now with Rob and Katie from previous streams. And Morgan, you're just making your
I
kitty
just
character,
made my kitty character. My kitty is called Peanut Butter Cookies.
Wonderful.
I was gonna try to be Snickerdoodle Cookie, but that was taken. So unfortunately,
That was taken?
that was taken. Snickerdoodle Cookie was taken.
Wow. I'm surprised while also not surprised. But
Yeah.
that's a solid name. I really wish Rob went with the name Ravioli for his. Pidgey.
Yeah. Ravioli is a good one.
I'm liking Scratching Post so far, but Christ, the magic damage that sorcerer does is hard to match when you're just doing two-handed and taking the frost path.
Told ya.
It is a night and day difference.
Give me an
What
ability
did
sphere.
you make Peanut Butter Cookie?
I think I made her a warden. Like I
Okay.
did. Because there was, Rob is, I think, the more rogue class. Katie's a Templar.
Katie is a Kitty Templar, yes.
And Bucky is a sorcerer, I think. Okay.
Oh, he rolled
abilities.
up a cat sork? I didn't know that.
And we're running. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Nope.
Oh, cutscene.
We've got a cutscene. Chocobos!
Lady Summoner, I presume.
Yes, I am Yuna.
I am Lucille, captain of the Jose Chocobo Knights.
And I'm Alma. We've been charged to guard the high road.
These people are super cute.
There have been reports of a large fiend appearing in this area with a taste for chocobos. Do take care, Summoner Yuna, if you are to rent any chocobos.
Thank you. We will be careful.
Good. We should get back to our rounds. Farewell.
Our prayers are with you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A large fiend?
Let's go get him.
He's so cute.
Why?
It's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
He's such an
What'd I
idealistic
say
little
now?
boy.
Jecht said that a lot too. And every time he said it, it meant trouble for Braska and me.
So, I've always really enjoyed Orin. I mean, his aesthetic is just cool as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always really liked him, but in looks, he reminds me a lot of
Let me
Dash the Stampede from Trigun, who is a completely different character. So it's weird seeing that crossover happen in my brain because I didn't watch Trigun by the time I played Final Fantasy X, but it has some weird overlap in the aesthetic, which I don't think you've ever seen Trigun, correct?
Nope. So I believe
It's
this
fun.
is my first summon of Ifrit. I love this
Will
boy.
you help us?
Yeah. Ifrit's a good boy. I'm
Infant's always a solid choice.
see. Oh,
I'll read it. You got
Okay.
it. Told says, My kitty is Contessa Soprano, which is a wonderful name. Just finished the Skyrim DLC with her last night. Have you settled on a guild name yet? I was thinking Storm King Jeff or
Huh.
Zephy's Emporium. That's a good choice there. Ever notice that no character actually ever speaks the name Titus?
yes. And that is because you can name him whatever you want. So they were, I think, hedging bets there. So, I wasn't really expecting to win that, but I'm not gonna get any experience either, which is kind of a bummer. So over there is a lady. In your own game, if you want to run around here and level up, you should level up Yuna. You should run around, just keep summoning, and get Yuna some experience. That will give her Aeons some more health, and make them a little bit buffer. That lady is going to challenge us to an Aeon fight, and I'm going to lose it. I feel like I've lost every single time with this because, like, there's not a lot of stuff you can do right before then, except just grind a lot to level up Yuna. But I think it is an important, perhaps, story beat that Yuna loses this and doesn't win it. So we're just going to do it.
You want to save beforehand anyway?
Nah,
Nah.
it's fine. I get something whether I
You too are a
I
summoner?
get something whether I lose or I
My
win.
name is Belgamina.
In
You are
future
My name
Belgamina
is Yuna.
fights, I do want to win them
the High Summoner's
because she gives
daughter.
really good shit.
I've heard much of
And I think if
but
you
you are
beat
still
her
fresh on the
at
road,
least
are you
3
not?
times, you
Yes, I am.
I
you
might
get
have a
something.
few
I
things
think
to
it
teach
has to
you.
do with another Aeon.
Let us see which are stronger.
But
My Aeons or yours? A one-on-one match. Not to
But
the
this
death,
one,
of course.
I think it's
What do you say?
perhaps a poignant story beat.
I'll do my best.
Good.
Yeah.
Before
Learn
we
that you're not
begin,
all powerful.
Yeah, she's still got a lot to learn, and
Your
even though
Aeons have been
she feels
healed.
like
you can fight with
hatchet.
your full strength. Come.
you know, she's still got a big difference. So Belgamine summons Ifrit. her Ifrit has about 1,000 health, I think. And, oh.
Hold on a second. We're getting raided.
Hello!
Show me how strong of a link you forged. with
Millie
your
Glitch is
Aeons.
letting us know the things are about to get grisly. It's a fair bear raid. We here at Taking Initiative appreciate puns.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you.
So, whenever Belkamine summons an Aeon, you cannot summon that same Aeon. So you can't have like an Ifrit versus Ifrit fight. You have to summon another one of your Aeons. So we summon Valefor.
What is Valefor?
What? Oh, I fell for it. Ooh, I fell for
Ooh,
it.
it was close. It was close.
Oh.
I heard the hesitation.
Oof. Okay.
Listen, if I can What's Up Dog you after you were so happy to show me the What's Up Dog Game Grumps video, I would feel very good about myself.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think about the best way to go about this.
Told to answer your previous questions. Well, one, the name for your cat character is wonderful. Skyrim DLC I haven't touched yet, but I'm happy to dig into DLC in the future. I know I have a lot of game ahead of me. And we haven't settled on the guild name yet. I didn't even think of making the guild, but I am taking those names under consideration. Considering the fact it's not all TI, and it may be some other members, we may have some other names in there, but it should definitely have a pun. But Zephy's Emporium sounds pretty solid.
I think I'm just gonna alternate. Okay, so one of the things that they were talking about when I've skipped through all those menus is that Aeons have specific abilities that they can do, not just their magic. They can also do something called Shield, which will it will protect them from taking a lot of damage, but it will not charge your overdrive meter. So that's kind of a payoff of like, ooh, I want to stay in this fight a little bit longer, but, you know, I'm not going to be able to do my overdrive as swiftly as I think. Boost, on the other hand, means that you're going to take a little bit more damage. It's going to hurt, but it's going to rack it up your overdrive. Boost is helpful for when you know you have enough hit points to survive it. I don't know, and I know that I'm not that savvy right now with Valefor, and I don't have an advantage on health, so I'm gonna just keep shielding. I'd rather...
Now, is shield like a middle ground that you're protecting, but you're also going to up your meter?
No, sorry. Shield
Well,
means
Shield
that...
was the first thing you said.
Yes.
That you don't.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I missed the name of the ability.
So shield, take less damage, but overdrive gauge won't charge. Boost means that your overdrive gauge will be faster, but it hurts more. Not their middle ground is just taking the hit. So let's just keep dumping some ice damage into this guy. I'd rather take the physical attack, although boy, Valefor, you have wings. You could just fly out of the range, but sure. We're gonna shield.
That's not how these games work.
Ugh. So later on, much later on, you will find you'll get to kind of customize your Aeons a little bit more. You'll be able to yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. And then we're gonna energy ray and then swiftly die because it's gonna be able to do its overdrive, and we're gonna get creamed.
But you know what? You're gonna look cool while doing it. Like the meter strike, yeah, you're wrecked.
I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, I'm done. But I think I did better this fight than I did in the other playthrough that I did to grind and get us past this. So, you know.
Oh, you have a lot to learn.
But we did better. No items found.
You need more. But
Anyway.
you did well.
It's also good knowing going into it
You
that
show
you're not
promise.
expected to win.
With more training, you could defeat
Because otherwise
sin.
you just sit there and just keep on trying
Thank
and
you.
trying and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
it be one of the
I
hardest
think
things
you
you
might
do.
defeat sin before I am able to.
I cannot. Huh? Or should I say, I was not able to.
You mean...
Farewell, Yuna. We'll meet again.
Bye, mid-conversation.
Well, yeah, she's outie. Now let me. Oh, that's not the right button. Bum ba dum bum ba dum. Let's go to Yuna. Does anybody need healed? Okay. A bit equip. She's got Seeker's Ring. Aww. That's not so good. I think I got a better reward the other time, but oh well. What do I got in here?
Now, you didn't play 8, correct?
Nope.
I'm very curious to see what you think of it.
I played 9, and then I played 10. I played 12, and that's it. Yeah.
You skipped over 10 too?
Yes, I did. Because 10-2 is not. I mean, it's a real game, but it's not a real game at the same time.
Miss me?
Final Fantasy dress up, yes, I understand.
Yes, but it's also like the way it was described to me when my friends and I were playing a lot of Final Fantasy in high school was that it was all of the obnoxious mini games from 10 that I didn't want to do, but as a game in 10-2. So I was not super interested in playing it. I did think...
From what I remember, that's a pretty fair assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No.
But I will say the costume stuff, as much as people give the game shit for it, for all like the costume changes for your class stuff, it was actually pretty cool system in like thought. I haven't really seen a lot of games that employ that before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an interesting new experience. I just don't think it landed as well, especially how good 10 was, and then having 10-2 come after that. It had a lot to live up to.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot and see. I'm in a much different mindset about 10-2 now as a 30-something than I was when I was like 16 and playing this like hardcore with my friends. So, yeah, I'm definitely willing to give it a shot and see. But back in the day, I cheated and I just watched the end scene that I wanted from 10-2 on a very young YouTube. And that's how that worked. But okay. We're about to get some cutscene goodness in here. Talk to Lucille real quick, or this is it.
Our prayers
Alma.
are with you.
The thing kind of looks like a guardian.
Lou,
Off to the
I'll
right.
show you what I can do.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Ouch. Oof, ouch. These things hit so hard. Bonk.
Yeah, Lulu's hurting.
Lulu is not gonna be here. We're swapping her out.
Lulu's very squishy.
Hmm?
Lulu's very squishy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Lulu's got a boo-boo, which is true.
Which accurate. Yeah.
Yep. Bonk. Yeah. Donk.
Yeah, 8 was, I really enjoyed 8. I never got to finish it as per the issue I had that I described earlier. It had an interesting magic mechanic called the draw system.
Okay.
It didn't land well with everybody, including myself.
All right.
But the world building and like just the story of 8 seemed pretty awesome.
That was with Squall, right?
It was with Squall. Yes.
Oh, hold on one second.
Yep.
Important info.
You're a summoner? Yes. My name is Yuna. I'm Callie. Nice to meet you, Callie. Lady Yuna, are you going to bring us the calm? Yes. Very soon. Yay!
We're looking forward to another calm, my Lady Summoner.
I'll do my best.
And good luck to your guardians as well.
I love this, like, instant, like, aw, shucks from all of the men. And Lulu's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Now, this resolves a key sort of plot thing that you might have been thinking about if you haven't played this game before.
The calm is a time of peace. It comes after a summoner defeats sin and lasts until sin reappears.
Huh?
Sin dies and is reborn.
I get it. I thought it was weird. Yuna's dad defeated Sin 10 years ago, right? But Sin's still here. Didn't make much sense till now. Wait, if it just comes back...
Don't say it isn't worth it. Because it is.
Even for a little while, people can sleep in their beds without being afraid. That kind of time is worth anything. Don't say it isn't worth it. Your words that day, Yuna, I remember them well.
So, that explains why we are still fighting Sin.
How much older is... Well, cut me off if this is going to be a spoiler or not. How much older is Titus as the narrator?
He is... I mean, he's sort of talking by the end of the game. So he's the same age I think he is now. He's just gone through the end of the story.
It sounds like he's gone through an entire maturity, decade.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know that Titus gets a lot of shit from Final Fantasy fans of being whiny or immature or kind of goofy from that laugh thing. But he's at his heart, he's just a 16, 17-year-old doofus boy. He was a soccer star a sports star, and he didn't really have to think about things or deal with things or, really have any sort of complicated, situations until, besides his dad leaving, until this happens. And this is such a big growth experience for him as a person, of these new people and these new places and this incredible tragedy that he has never experienced, this trauma that he has never experienced. And the course of going through this story really develops him and changes him, which is a very, I think, poignant and successful story arc.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at, is the narration element of Titus seems like it's an entirely different person. That it's been years or decades, but the fact that it's not years or decades, and it's a small period of time, shows that he just goes through some serious shit over the course of this game.
He certainly does.
Again, I've never beat 10. I got, I think, to about the Lightning Temple before I ended up stopping.
Oh, we're pretty close to that, actually.
So, yeah, we're hitting to where I would know, and by that, I mean I don't remember a lot about this game, so I don't know a lot.
Yeah. Can't move him yet. Can't move him yet.
I mean, it's probably been, 15 years since I played.
I love this game.
Well, the level you can know, you know a few games to such a degree.
Backwards and forwards.
Like Mass Effect and Dragon Age and 10.
Yeah.
I know a lot of games in general ways, and Skyrim, holy shit. The way you talked about Skyrim when I was playing. It's impressive, because you really dive in, you play these games multiple times, and you just learn everything you can about it. I love that was probably that kid's ball. Yep.
Yep.
What a dick.
Yep. Oh, are you waving at me? Hi. Alright, so he's a crusader. Oops. Yeah, there were some games, and I know that you and I kind of have very different philosophies when it comes to, like, replaying games. Because I will replay the same game and be perfectly fine with it. Like, I've replayed Horizon, and I've played 10 a whole bunch of times. Skyrim, I've played a ton of. My playing Final Fantasy X required many game facts and Excel spreadsheets. Yes, game facts, MVP.
Game facts saved a lot of time and just game facts did great work.
Yeah.
Great.
Genuine heroes on that site. But I feel like every time I play them, and similarly when I read books, right? Every time I reread a book, I feel like I get something else out of it. Like I get a new perspective, or I get a new kind of thought process on it. And especially now, you know, when I played Final Fantasy X when I was like a dumb, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, like I related to Titus more on his level as like a teenager, I didn't like Yuna because Yuna was like such a prep kind of thing. Like she was just like too sweet. And now, I can look at this game as an adult and I see Titus as not just like a hero. I see him as like a kid, I see him as this child who's been put in a really weird, difficult situation. And same with Yuna. I have a lot more empathy for Yuna as an adult because of the situations that she's been put in and her feelings of obligation and duty and sacrifice in this game. So I feel like 10, I get a lot of comfort out of it because I know how to play it. I know how it works. I don't have to like worry about a difficult system. But also, I just feel like as I grow, I get a whole new aspect about it. And I'm sure as I get older, I'm going to be more in line with like Auron, like just jaded. But at this point, it's just a different it's a different game every time I play it, just because I'm different every time I play it.
Yeah, well, I've probably mentioned this on other streams before, but what we're going to talk about of how different we are is because I don't normally, it's very rare that I will play a game front to back more than once, especially RPGs, because of the amount of time it takes to dig into the story. And I'm the same way with books. I don't think I've ever reread a book. I've reread half of The Hobbit because I had to for a school report, but I've never read a book twice. I just can't do it. I can watch movies consistently on repeat and be fine because they're small little bite-sized bits. But like I wouldn't probably rewatch an entire show front to back. Exceptions aside would be like with Blue Bloods, I have to watch it multiple times because it's my job. So that's something I just need to do just to like catch QC things and whatever. But things that take that much amount of time, I'd rather take in something else. Probably for the same reason that you repeat games, is you want to get something new out of it when you're older. And me, I want to get something out of a lot of sources.
Shield us from fiery fury.
So we're both trying to get stuff out of it, just in different ways.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm a big rereader of the same philosophy. Like I get a lot of stuff out of books when I reread them that I don't necessarily get the first time around. And a lot of times is because I've usually read a book when I was much younger and I didn't catch something, or oftentimes I read very quickly and sometimes I will lose something when I'm kind of reading that fast because I've missed a detail. For instance, when I read the Hunger Games series and I got to the third book, there's a moment in that book series where a character dies. They're in a sewer and a character gets like left behind, or they kind of sacrifice themselves to, hold off the horde or whatever.
Well then, what
And
next?
I missed it. I completely missed it the first time that I read it, and I didn't notice until like I went maybe 4 or 5 pages later. I went back and I was like, where is this character? Like, what happened? And I like went back, and that's when I realized that, oh shoot, they're dead. I just missed it because I was reading so quickly. So
I cannot emphasize the speed at which Morgan reads. It is impressive.
Yeah, but again, like I'm also losing some detail when I do that, but it helps for me sometimes to reread something to get that additional story element out of it, or to just revisit a place. I have a very vivid imagination, and being able to sink back into another, like basically another home, another place where I am feeling very comfortable, and I feel very like, I don't know, I feel like I can kind of just like visit, Harry Potter used to do that for me. There are a couple of book series that I really like. There's the Kushil's Dart book that I really like. There's Mercedes Thompson. There's a couple of worlds that I like to visit. I feel like something is crawling on me, and it is an ant. Oh god.
Welcome to the hot weather, New York City.
Yeah, it got warm, really warm, consistently warm the last couple days, and every time it does that at the start of the summer, all of the little buggies start to go, and want to like be inside, and it causes issues.
Yep.
My
But
turn now.
Well, John was nice enough to get traps that we're putting out tonight.
yes, we can absolutely do that. Let's get Lulu out of here because she's gonna be useless. Straight her out. with
Yeah,
Waka.
I get that of wanting to like be
You
in
called?
those worlds and stuff, but like,
Sorry, that was really
so I just started reading the Harry Dresden books, the
Mhm.
Dresden Files by Jim Butcher, and I'm on the second book right now. I could not put it down last night, and the only reason I did put it down was it was 2 in the morning, and I needed to go to bed. And after I finished the first book, I was like, wow, that was really good. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about it, which I'm not going to mention now because Morgan wants to read them. And I do encourage people that like
How
noir,
much further do we have to go?
PI, detective-y stories, and also magic in nowadays times, or rather when the first book starts, like we're still talking about like VHSs. So like late 90s, early 2000s times. I would highly recommend getting it. It is not specifically kid-friendly.
Thought so.
It is a little hornier than I thought it was going to be in some of its descriptions, and some of the depictions of gore and violence can be intense in the book. But overall, if you're into that kind of thing, I do highly recommend it. It was recommended to me by Drew Tillman from the podcast, as well as a couple of other friends of mine.
Let's see some hustle.
So I highly recommend it. But that being said, after I read the first book, I have no interest in picking it up again, unless I'm giving it to somebody to loan. It's in my head. I'm good to go with it. I don't need to revisit it. And I really got what I wanted out of it. Now I'm on the second book, and I can get a little bit more. But I like living in that world in my head, and I feel like after I read it and I really like a world like that, I just will dive into that world on my own time instead of rereading it again. Yeah, I also read a lot slower than Morgan does, so it takes me a lot longer to reread it.
Thank you,
or read
everyone.
it the first time.
Yeah, I think
I'm also the kind of person that if I realize I missed a sentence, I'm going to stop and go back until I make sure that sentence is like read word for word, which probably is what slows me down.
Yeah, I think also, you have a better memory than I do. So it might also be that, like, you don't feel the need to reread it as much because you remember it. But, damn, I'm so backed up with these ability spheres.
Memory does depend on the topic, but
Yeah.
yes. Sometimes photographic, sometimes I just don't need it in my brain. It goes away.
How do I get out of here?
Like whenever I was told to do something by my parents. Sorry, mom and dad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was selective memory and stuff, but
Yeah.
let's see. Oh, I have to sneeze again. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you. There are a few games I have repeated though, but never in the same way. Like Skyrim, I've played multiple times, but I've always done a different side quest or way of playing the game. I don't think I've ever done the same thing twice because the game is so massive that I can have completely different experiences going through.
Yeah.
I never beat the main quest though.
I have. I've played pretty far. I think I've got a couple of main quest items still outstanding, but that's because I refuse to finish them. There's like the main quest with like I think it's called the Blades. The like lady who helps you like learn about dragons and like take your fight to them. Like they're like, "Oh, you need to kill the cool old dope ass dragon on the top of the mountain." And I'm like, "Nah, I won't." That dude rocks. Parthenax. I think his name's Parthenax.
Yeah, well, I mean, Parthenax has a very major part in that story.
But yeah, they're like...
I don't think I've ever done that mission. I don't even know if you needed to kill him or not.
It's part of the thing. They ask you to kill him. Now, you cannot do it, but it is...
Yeah, Tolda's saying the music in Sovngarde is worth doing the main quest for.
Yeah,
The music in Skyrim is wonderful.
Yeah, the music is incredible. Bum, bum, bum. I just did some recording for Kintaro's podcast, and for something that is Nordic related, and I had to really fight not to like put on my most Skyrim-y voice. I'm like, yes, Ragnarok.
Potential spoiler for Kintaro's podcast.
No, okay, well, no, sorry.
Don't tell Kintaro.
Don't tell Kintaro. No one tell Kintaro. Is he in the chat? Sorry.
Nope, not at the moment.
Okay, cool. You don't know if it's about that. I just said a Nordic word.
No, that you're guessing on it.
Oh, okay.
I also liked playing Diablo 3 multiple times. And I think it's because I know the story already, but it's so easy to grind through that game and play as different characters and just feel different builds.
That's not what I meant
that it wasn't really about experiencing the story all over again. There's not a lot you can get out of that story. It's just fun, pulpy bullshit. It's more about just the experience of playing. I think I'm more into playing those games over again than I am with RPGs.
Yeah, but I also, like, I play RPGs over again, and I have entirely different, like, main characters, even as the presets, which I know blows your mind, because I can play Mass Effect over and over again and be fine with that, because every single one of my shepherds is a different person, even though they've going through the same situations, and some of their, like, obviously a lot of their dialogue is the same. But like I've got one infiltrator shepherd that is like more of a paragade and is a much harder person, and then I've got a shepherd who is like such a like dyed in the wool military baby, you know, like she's a very much a do-gooder paragon to the max. So
yeah, so the thing that gets me with that Morgan was just referring to, and I'll get to your question in a second, is that when it's a character like Shepard, or like, this is a little bit more hard-coded, like a Nathan Drake, but you have your own say of what you do, kind of a thing. So it's a designated character. You don't get to choose like your race or class. Well, you do pick your class in a way. You don't have a lot of customization, but you just have a narrowed customization. I'll put it that way. To me, when I make a character for that, like a shepherd, I'm like, oh, here's how shepherd is. And I get that fact that everybody will have different shepherds, but for me, having multiple shepherds doesn't really compute. But if it's a game where it's like Skyrim, then you can play a completely different character entirely and have a whole different story. It's a lot easier for me to make different characters. Very similar to D&D. I'm not going to go into every single D&D experience with the same character, although some people can do that and are very willing to do that. I feel like that's a good playground for different character builds. But when it's honed into a specific person, and it's just slightly different, but it's the same story. I don't know, that doesn't interest me to repeat so much. Told question was, what music do you listen to while doing desk work, like programming? Skyrim, Destiny 2, Civ, soundtracks are usually useful for concentrating. Well, programming would apply to me, but Morgan definitely has the Excel.
Yes,
kind of
so much Excel.
That.
But I do a lot of drawing, and I like listening to music while I'm doing drawing or when I'm kind of processing stuff. Bear McCreary is a composer that worked on Black Sails. He worked on Outlander, and there is like something about his music that is just like will reach right into your dang chest. Whether it's like a Celtic-inspired sound for Outlander or a more like piratey, seafaring kind of sound for Black Sails. He also did the soundtrack for God of War, I believe. The one with Boy.
PS4 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does like a Nordic one as well. Like he has beautiful music. So I really like his compositional work. I listen to a lot of there's a pianist named Ludovico Einaudi that creates very soothing piano soundtracks that I really like to listen to. Those are good. Oh.
Hey!
All right, I'm coming. Sorry. Thought that was further up. Hello.
After this
we
cutscene,
saw the
I'll answer.
game. You guys were great.
Congratulations, Waka.
Hey, stop loafing around.
The Lady Summoner and her guardians.
This mission requires our full attention. We've no time to waste. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Apologies, ma'am.
Carry on.
See, keep your head down, say sir a lot, and you'll do fine.
Right, sir.
Hey, Yuna. Even though Yevon rejected us, we still believe in you. That won't ever change.
Thank you, Sir Luzu, Sir Gata. But, you know, it's not too late for you to go back to Besaid and...
We should be going, sir.
I'm not really sure why
very
that's
quick
funny,
delve.
but sure.
Very quick delve into camera theory for a second. They did something which broke their normal angles in the middle of that, which caught my attention. So, for the most part, they were very eye level, slight pans here or there, some top down. But there was only one shot that was from ground up, and it was the shot of Yuna. And for people who haven't taken film before or are curious about how camera angles and stuff work, if you want to empower a character, you usually shoot from a lower angle up to make them feel like they are bigger than they actually are. And that was delivered on a line where they were saying they still, believe in her and it was empowering her, and that one camera angle was meant to stand out to make her feel bigger. So there's some film knowledge for me. For Todd's question, when I'm doing things, it's very in the moment of what I'm feeling. One soundtrack could not work. Could work one day and not work the next day, just based on how my overall mood and feeling is, and specifically what task I'm doing. If I'm doing something that requires a lot of words or thought to it, I can't listen to anything with lyrics, because those words will get confused in my head, and all of a sudden, like if-then statements will start having Eminem lyrics in it. That's not good. So for when I'm coding, I tend to dip into music that is very rhythmic, and it's very stereotypical for coders, but like Deadmau5 or Skrillex or Lindsey Sterling, anything around that realm. TWRP is actually very good, even though they have lyrics. I know them so well by now; they're just part of the music and not just actual words. So I can definitely listen to them while I'm going. But if I'm doing something like my editing when I don't need to listen, not the podcast editing, I obviously need to listen for that, but say my online conform editing for TV and film for my normal job, I'll listen to Eminem or Death Clock, TWRP still, Ninja Sex Party. I usually like to listen to Panic at the Disco. Usually something with a beat that is pushing me forward, nothing that's going to make me sleepy, and also can make me feel good or built up. Eminem's music, especially their Music to Be Murdered By, which is one of his recent, if not the most recent, albums he's been putting out, especially the side B one. The initial one is one that has Godzilla on it. His music has such an ability to drive me creatively and make me feel like I can do some really cool shit. So I usually like to do that when the work I'm doing needs to be good or the best that I can possibly put out. And career-wise, that's usually all the time because it's my job and my reputation as an online editor. So that really helps me. And Death Clock really helps if I need to get work done faster because of how fast it is.
So jumping in really quick, this is the Freets Overdrive called Hellfire. It's pretty dope.
Yep. There's a lot going on there.
Yep. Oh, fuck yeah.
Nice. But yeah, the music completely depends on what I'm doing.
Oh my god! Sorry, we got two ability spheres. We got two ability spheres. We got to use them wisely. Now, here's the funny thing is that I have grinded through all of this several times, and next time I'm gonna go to a save that everything I do right now does not matter. But still, I want to show it to you guys. So now that we've got that, we can move along. Did I not activate that one ability? I didn't. Ugh. Sorry, you can talk now.
Okay. One major difference for the music choices also I have a very wide range of music I'll dive into, especially for specific things. I also come from a history of doing music a lot in school as a cellist and a bassist. So I do have a lot of classical music I'll listen to when I'm trying to do coding too. That usually puts me in a very solid mood depending on the classical music. Like I'm not going to put on Hall of the Mountain King when I need to concentrate. It stresses me out, especially because of the Witness. Holy shit. But when I was planning for like Curse of Strahd, for example, my playlist would represent the world I'm trying to build. I actually had a lot of AWOL Nation in there. Like Run was really good for me. For whatever reason, that really pumped out a lot of my ideas. Having some uneasy feeling music helped with those moods. And it really helped with the writing there. And then when I was planning an Eberron game, which I'll probably not run, I was listening to a lot of the Punisher soundtrack, a lot of actually just an Eberron soundtrack from Spotify. Really, that helps a lot. Some Blade Runner, like a lot of songs that fit the narrative I was looking for. So I go to a lot of different places for music. It all just depends on the situation.
Oh, so here's something I didn't know from Told. Overkill doubles the rewards, and the type of enemy determines what kind of sphere you get. So nice timing on the fruit alt. Yay! So I got more than one ability sphere because I used that overdrive. Dope.
Interesting.
All right.
We'll defeat Sin any way we can.
But Yevon's teachings say...
This person's a pain in the ass.
Enough.
Shalinda!
I only meant to... Are you all right?
Who's paying the ass? The person walking away? The person
Lady
you're talking
Summoner?
Oh, Shalinda,
Yes,
the person that we're
I am
bowing to.
Yuna.
She's a very pious
It is an honor, my lady.
priest of Yevon.
My name is Shalinda. I am a disciple
And
of Yevon.
she's just
What was all that about? The Crusaders operation?
very
You mean the one Gaga
naive,
and Luzu were talking about?
uncompromising, judgmental.
I heard they
Yeah.
were to use forbidden machina. I had to stop them.
Huh? Why?
The use of machina is strictly forbidden by the Yevon priesthood.
That's bad, yeah?
Let them use whatever they want. They still won't defeat Sin.
But it's not about defeating sin. The
I'll let you
teachings
dive
of
into something
Yevon
after
must
this.
be upheld.
Yeah, right.
But you don't understand. The Crusaders won't even listen to me. And it's all because I'm just a lowly acolyte. Don't
That's
say that.
not why they won't listen to you.
Well, I haven't been a summoner for very long myself, you see. Still, I can't put myself down every time I fail. People are depending on me. They're depending on both of us. Yes. Yes, you're right, my lady.
Man,
Absolutely right.
really in these moments I can tell the difference they
Thank you
did with
so
like
much, Lady
the
Yuna.
remaster because
Now,
I
I
just
feel I have the
remember her
courage
hands being
to finish my
absolute
training.
blocks before, and she's got
Oh,
articulated
yeah.
fingers.
I will do my best to get myself.
Technology.
Yeah. Ugh.
Speaking of technology,
You're
that's
sure you're
exactly what I
all right?
wanted to jump into.
Never better.
So, Final Fantasy, for people who haven't really played Final Fantasy much before, only
As
played
you
one of
wish.
them. All the Final Fantasies are different, but they all have a very major similarity amongst them of the overall feel and big overarching messages, the summons / aeons. Like there's a lot of big similarities between all the games that ties them all together into the Final Fantasy world. Moogles, also Chocobos.
Sid.
One major thing. What was the last part? Oh, Sid. Yeah, Sid being in the games. One major thing is the lack of desire for machinery and how machinery can bring destruction. That was in 7. That was why you're like a bunch of eco-terrorists trying to bring down a bunch of the machinery there, trying to suck the planet dry. In this one, its machinery is not allowed by followers of Yevon.
Yeah, so specifically the reason why machinery is not allowed is that the ancient cities of like Xanarkand and there were a couple of others were, you see at the beginning with like Titus, like they're incredibly built towering, skyscraper cities. There's a lot of machinery, there's a lot of technology involved. And the ideology of Yevon is that the reason why Sin was created was because the pride of those cities needed to be punished. And the use of machinery to do work for people caused like laziness and indulgence and gluttony. And that's why Sin was manifested. We'll see over the course of the game, sort of that ideology come into some like conflict. So it's an interesting premise in 10, coming off of 7, which was like very like anti-corruption of like machinery, to this, which is like sort of the idea that eco-terrorism thing of like getting rid of all the technology is kind of one, but what's sort of the payoff there,
Yeah. 8 also is very heavy tech-based, which was very contrasted to 9, which had a more fantasy.
Very high fantasy feel. And I honestly, like, I don't care about 7. I don't have a lot of interest in it. I haven't really felt a drive to play it. I watched you play the remake, which if I were to play 7, I would probably do that version of it just because it's updated. Yeah, the Evil Machine in Final Fantasy IX was the production of Black Mages. Yeah, so there's certainly an element of like production or machinery that is being criticized by Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, mostly because of like the idea of like the problems we face are the ones that we create. For ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I loved 9. I feel like 9 has one of the most successful world building, I'd say, or like it's a weird phrase to use for a video game, but I'm gonna use it anyway. It has the best mouthfeel. You know, when you eat something that's really satisfying, it's a really good mouthfeel. It has that same like exceptional, like one of the things that like Final Fantasy makes it such a fantastic and like incredible game, you know, development is like the absolute balls to the wall game and art and culture development that goes into the games. And 9 had just such an incredibly like charming, whimsical, high fantasy vibe to it, and like atmosphere and aesthetic. That's the right word instead of mouthfeel. Aesthetic. But it just
I want to question your use of mouthfeel for even like when you eat something. Like, good mouthfeel. I've never heard you utter that.
I think that it is. I think I have Sydney to blame for that. I think mouthfeel is specifically like a bartender sommelier feeling, or like description, because it's like when you make cocktails and stuff, like how you want it to have like a good like taste in your mouth or a good texture in your mouth. I think specifically she used it for you know when you put egg whites in cocktails, or egg whites are in cocktails, they make them
I know
like
people do it. Yes.
Yeah, it's to make them have good mouthfeel. It's to make them have like a very kind of bodied taste to them. So but yeah, aesthetic. That's the word that I was going for there, is that Final Fantasy IX had just like a really charming aesthetic to it that I really liked. All right, we're gonna go and do a cutscene.
Okay. While you're going to that, Toll says here. 9. Oh, never mind.
But this isn't our bed shop.
Is that a problem?
They don't believe in Yevon, and in Luca they kidnapped Yuna.
Where were her guardians?
No.
Oh.
Sir Orin's just concerned about your health.
I'm not tired one bit.
Well, I am.
So while it's going, Told says that the best intro
As
music
if I could
for
sleep.
9, best intro music in the series was 9, and the tune "Roses of May" was really good.
It's right at the beginning of 9, the part where you are doing the play sword fight and you have to do the button sequencing. That music I can hear in my head. I can see the scene of it. It has such a satisfying like feel to it. Yeah, Oh, Josh, now you have me watching all those camera angles. Yeah, I loved the way that 9 felt. And the same way I feel like I loved the way 10 feels, and I feel like it's got like a very similar fantasy aesthetic, and you know, such a care and It's that same feeling. You know when you look at a Dark Souls monster, you know,
Yeah.
or a Bloodborne monster, and you look at that and you go, that is one of the most beautiful, horrifying things I've ever seen in my entire life. But it makes me like so in awe of the way that some people can be creative and think about designing a monster, or for instance, or like the Aeons in this game, or you know, any of the fiends. And I think about that and I'm just like, God, what's it like to be in your brain? But I know what it's like to be in your brain because it looks like this and it's beautiful.
That was like a lot of Geiger's work.
Yeah.
He's the one who was behind like Alien,
Mm-hmm.
and just the way his mind worked and the stuff that came out of it, you're like, this is amazing. What's wrong with you? But keep doing it.
Yeah, like it's just such a and especially for like so one of the biggest things I will say about 12's plot, the story of 12 sucked. It was not. I know there are a lot of reasons behind it. I know that there were like rushes on the development of the story, and I think they swapped around the villain like the last kind of months of development, where someone was supposed to be an ally of yours, or like at least not an antagonist, and that person ended up having to be kind of the villain of the story, and it doesn't feel genuine and it doesn't feel authentic. It feels kind of like, oh, okay. But what I will say for 12 is that it had a really gorgeous world that you could kind of just get lost exploring and running around and talking to people, and it's one of the reasons why I very rarely get to, I'd say maybe halfway point in 12. But I always want to replay the beginning, because when you're running around that starting city and you're meeting all of these different people, and you get to like go into these shops and run these errands, and you feel like you're there. You feel like you're part of this vibrant sort of ecosystem and world and city. So I have a lot of affection for 12 in that regard. I think it's an extremely well designed game from an aesthetic standpoint. Story wise, it's just not there. It doesn't feel that same way. But yeah, so we're in an Al-Bed shop. We already got a room.
Mr. Rin's shops are all over Spira. They are quite convenient when you're on the road.
And told to expound on what you just said, like now you have me watching all those camera angles. I feel you.
This might be the
going
last time we can
through
rest like this.
school and learning about film. I didn't go to film school. I went to school for communications after I switched from comp sci.
I was very relieved to find that he keeps nothing sacrilegious.
And then working on just film and TV for the past almost decade. Holy shit. Yeah, past almost decade.
Mm-hmm.
You start to see things you can't unsee anymore. And it's the same way like when you play music forever and then someone hits a note or a chord that's dissonant or just a little sharp or a little flat. You'll be like, oh, it's 30 cents flat. You just won't ever hear something the same again. And it does something great and it does something awful, where you can sincerely appreciate some movies and shows or music or video games or whatever this topic is about when you know more about it, when things do it really well. And then you can also hate things or just not like things as much more because of them not doing it as well. And you won't really ever see that middle ground anymore. And again, it's a good and a bad thing, because you'll realize that you just don't like things as much as you might have in the past, but you also like a lot of other things even more and appreciate them for what they are. Like for me, if a VFX shot is done poorly, or there's a dead pixel that someone missed, or a camera in the middle of the frame that someone forgot about, it's going to catch my eye. It's going to take me out of the moment. I know a movie or a TV show is super good when I stop looking at those kinds of things and I just am appreciating what's in front of me. Oh yeah, classical singer for 15 years. Yup, I'm sure you have that thing with your ear of like, yeah, they could have probably hit that pitch a little bit better. I gotcha.
You're just selling some stuff. Okay. All right. We're about to do a cutscene. Just spend some time. It's beautiful out here.
Whoa. Check it out. That sunset was different from the one I saw in Kilika. It was quiet, almost gentle.
What you up to?
J.J. Abrams directed this scene.
Yep.
Pretty.
Sure is.
I wish I could live in a place like this. Peaceful. Living with a smile on my face every day.
You can, once you beat Sin, right?
But then, a new Sin will be born anyway.
Well, then you can just beat it again.
I wish I could.
Hey, you can. Trust me. You are the best summoner out there. Yuna, why does Sin always come back?
Sin is our punishment for our vanity. And it will not go away until we've atoned.
How do we do that? What did we do that was so bad in the first place? Ah. Was it using lots of Machina or something? Oh. Wait, was that such a bad thing, really?
It's funny. Ever since I was young, I never questioned it. But now that you ask me if it is that bad or not, I don't know. There are so many things I don't know.
Well, then we're the same.
Himbo
Such
writes.
thinking is very unbecoming of a summoner.
Sound like Micah?
That's not very nice, you know.
You know, during a game, you have to think of Blitz and nothing else, you know?
Okay.
I don't know, but okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ah.
Sean Perot. Sure.
You can't think, that's a cute girl in the fifth seat from the right. And you can't be thinking about where you're gonna go on that date, because the minute you do, that's when you lose. You see, Yuna, what I mean is, you really shouldn't worry, you know? After we beat Sin, that's when you can worry about the future.
I guess.
But Yuna, how are you supposed to beat something big like that?
God, I love him.
The final summoning. It's the only way to defeat Sin. The only way. With it, we can call the final Aeon. That's the goal of the pilgrimage.
You can see some of the
The
texture
faith
on
of the
her
final
little bow.
summoning lies waiting in the far north to greet summoners that complete their pilgrimage.
Now, Sin is also a giant sphere, isn't it?
At the world's edge in Xanarkand.
Yes.
In Xanarkand?
He takes on the form of a
She
leviathan.
means the ruins of a city destroyed a
but
thousand years ago.
when you first see Sin, it is the giant watery sphere in Xanarkand.
Now, keep that in mind with this entire scene with how that sun looks.
You sure it's ruins?
Just
That's what
looming
I've
out
heard.
there over the entire
You'll
discussion.
see it for yourself
Yeah.
soon enough. Yuna, come back inside.
You will go with us to Xanarkand?
Sorry, I'm getting attacked by buggies.
Yeah. I'll go.
Yeah, that was happening to me all day too.
I'll go to Xanarkand to see it with my own eyes.
Yeah, I never made the connection with like the sun.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I don't know how much was intentional or not. Just, I mean, same with like writing. You know, you could make your own assumptions about what they meant. But like them looking back of what
I knew
they're expecting,
it couldn't be
the
my
sun going down
Xanarkand,
and it's going to be dark,
but
and how
I
the
had to
future
make
could
sure.
potentially look. All the water around the sun as well would, you know, lend itself to the giant ball of water.
Mm-hmm.
And also, a lot of times Yuna was shown off-center, with a lot of the world taking up the space rather than her. With how like oppressed she feels about everything going on. Yeah, there's a lot there. They did a great job with this game with cinematics and stuff, which was, you know, really something else for like going from Final Fantasy 9 to Final Fantasy 10.
Oh, for sure. It was like, I mean, this was like an incredible game changer across the board for like all video games, not just Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I think I need to find the save file. But what I did is that prior to this, I did maybe 5 or 6 laps of Mikan High Road, and I got super buff, and I leveled up a whole bunch of stuff, and then I saved right before the next bit, which is where we fight the Chocobo monster. So what I think I'm going to try and do is I'm going to talk to Rin just now, and I'll save, and then I'll try to load that so we're better prepared for the fight that we're about to hit. Okay? So let's...
Sure.
Hit.
Oh, and when Morgan said something like...
Forgive me, sir.
Oh, never mind.
I meant to say pardon me, but it came out in El Bed.
Oh, you're in Al Bed.
I am Rin, owner of this establishment. Hela du Sadwi.
Huh?
It means nice to meet you.
Ah, well, Heli do sad we to you too.
If you are interested, El Bed primers can be found all over Spira. Finding them and learning our language might be fun. Here, let me give you one in commemoration of our meeting. Although you might want to be careful where you speak our language.
Yay!
Yeah, I hear Al Bed aren't liked much. Oh, sorry.
I thought I recognized that voice.
What is it?
Rin is Tom Kenny.
The Chocobos!
Who's Tom Kenny?
The voice of SpongeBob.
Let's go.
Huh? Oh, thank you for your help. Please, use this.
Huh?
He's a silly boy. Okay. Alright, so let me save. And we'll do this as the save file from last time. And, oh God, which one was it? You can see that there are now 4 of them.
A few.
Okay, so I think that it might be this one, because this one has the least amount of playtime. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to block off the camera real quick, and I'm just gonna load that one. Yep. All right. So quit. There is no way in this game to load a save file. You have to quit the game and you have to reboot it, which is a real pain in the ass. Especially for like the remaster. Like, I get it for the PS2 back in the day, but they really should have made that an upgrade when they did the remaster, and they did not. It's a real pain in the butt. So let me just go back. think it was this one. We're gonna try it. Not quit the game. All right, so. And we're back like nothing changed.
Yay.
Yay. Okay.
We appreciate Drigwi.
Oh.
It means
Okay, this might have been after the Chocobo because he said thank you instead of get your ass out there and fight a Chocobo. Eater. Yes, this is after. Okay, so maybe I will see if otherwise I will just do the fight with the save that we have, although we might get our asses kicked. Let's try again. Let's try again.
I mean, you can show off the fight and just, you know, we've done it already. And then when you have it loaded up, you can just reshare it, please.
Yeah. We'll see. Oh, did I share in Discord? Did it not do it?
Well, since the game closed out, stop the share.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
No worries.
Share my screen. Final Fantasy X. Go live to Josh so you can see, and then I will just come back here so you guys can see too. We're just gonna skip all that. Load. So it wasn't 1. Was it a... That doesn't make sense, though, that it would be more playtime. What have I done here?
It seems you've made too many.
It seems I have made too many, which is a fair...
we appreciate
Okay,
Drigwi.
So...
It means I thank you.
We're gonna do this one more time.
What was it this time? I don't remember what I was going to say. That is completely gone. But Told says, I tried to learn how to play the Return to Xanarkin piano solo. So hard. Tried building the sheet music out of a primitive MIDI file in the 2000s. I feel you. I tried doing that with a arrangement of Lord of the Rings music back in the day when I tried to use Session. I don't even know if that exists anymore, but that was back in the Windows XP probably. I don't think it was 98 anymore. It was Windows XP. And then I also tried doing that with Final Fantasy VII music and realized just how goddamn complicated Final Fantasy music is and how intricate and layered everything was. It is a time and a half.
Alright.
But I didn't try building the sheet music out of the MIDI. I tried making the MIDI out of the sheet music. I don't do that much.
To the Chocobo Corral.
Can you share, please?
Oh, I thought I did. Hold on, let me go over here. It is shared, huh?
I am only seeing your... Okay, I see why. Okay. It came up with your camera as the default.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go over to OBS real quick. Just gonna trigger.
Yep.
All right. So this fight, I'm trying to remember the specifics of it. You kind of have to wail on it until it falls over, because it will push you back. Now, I think the strategy here is that it won't push Aeons back, so I need to have Yuna in my party to summon first. Oh, she's already in it. Because if we can get some of its health down first, we should be able to be fine. Okay, so we are gonna go fight this thing. You actually don't have to win this fight. Like, you can lose this fight without dying. You get shoved off the edge and you start the next part of it down there instead of up here, and you lose out on some like fun stuff. So
didn't you say it was a big chocobo?
It's a big chocobo eater.
Oh.
It eats chocobos.
That extra word.
Oh Yeah, ouch.
Just got gut punch right off the
Yeah, let us...
Apparently you get an extra bonus if you kill it instead of pushing it off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the yellow feathers in the teeth is important. I agree.
I don't think I ever noticed the feathers in its teeth. Ugh. I was just... Oh, yeah, it does have feathers in its teeth. Aw, I don't like that.
There's a Chocobo Eater in 15 as well. It's been a while since I played it, but yeah, it was something hunting down Chocobos. But when you said big Chocobo, I was thinking it was fat Chocobo that you're fighting. Do they have fat Chocobo in this game?
I don't think so. Oh man, this is gonna go poorly, guys. I didn't. This is why you should do some grinding on the highway because, oh, we're about to get smoked here.
You're gonna look cool doing it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna cycle through, get back to Yuna, and summon Ifrit. Or not Ifrit, Baleflor once Ifrit dies. Only 2,000. Ugh.
Ifrit does a lot of smoking.
Okay. Yeah, out for the count. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Well, you have your other save file for when you're done anyway.
Yeah. It's not going to matter so much because I am 100% going to use the file that I beat this guy on. So it's not end of the world. Who do I want to do this on? Let's... I'm trying to think of what this guy is vulnerable to. And I'm going to look it up really quickly because I think there's a specific type of magic that he is vulnerable to.
Well, you keep going. I'll look it up for you.
Yeah?
You're doing the stream.
Okay. All right. Well, it makes a difference on what I do for Lulu here.
Okay, the Chocobo Eater is... Let's see. 150% fire, 100% ice, 100% lightning, water, and holy.
So fire, right?
Well, is usually the high percentage that is resistant or it takes damage to?
I don't know what you're looking at, so I don't...
It says elemental affinities. Let's see.
I would assume fire. I think it's fire.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
All right, we're gonna do an overdrive. It means we spin the analog stick a whole bunch of times for Lulu. Okay. That's not great. Oh, Mama don't want to be next. She don't want to be next.
Yeah, it's susceptible to fire attacks.
Okay.
Lulu's black magic, Mari's fire breath overdrive, Ifrit. Baleflor will be useful.
Okay.
Chocobo Eater has high defense, but it is knocked over physical attacks with advantage.
Yeah.
Hellfire is a good way to do it.
What do I want to do here? Okay. Right in the gooch. Whoa, nice.
Also, the player bought the slow touch weapon for Titus from Waka in Luca. It can be used to inflict slow on the Chocobo Eater.
Oh. Okay. This is gonna be a bad time for us, but let's see if we can get some damage out.
I've learned. Do you know what the name Chocobo comes from?
No.
The name Chocobo derives from a Japanese brand of chocolate malt ball by Morinaga. Chocobo.
Oh, cool.
The mascot for this product is, excuse my pronunciation, Kyoro-chan, a bird who says "kwe."
Ah.
And ku, K-U-U, is a rough way to say eat, whose volitional casual form is kwe, leading to K-W-E-H.
Oh, good girl. All right, let's get.
Do you have Kawari's fire breath abilities?
Oops. That's terrible. I do, but I don't have his overdrive right now.
Gotcha.
Let's see if I can swap to him. Oh, ow. Ooh, I need to swap Waka out. That is not happening.
That's not doing shit.
That is bad news bears. Okay.
Attack now! Push it back!
Yeah, this is where the physical attacks do well. It does a weak blizzard. Yep.
Let's get...
He was also mentioning something about Lulu using focus for something.
I don't have focus.
Okay.
It's to, focus helps your magical defense.
Ah, I see. So yeah, using that, I guess, on somebody who's going to get attacked by the blizzard makes sense. You're doing pretty well.
Yep.
And I also learned that after it says you're next, it doesn't matter if you switch, the target remains the same.
Yeah. Ooh, Titus ain't so hot either. Okay.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Good on him for staying up, though. All right, let's get... Ooh, that's all bad. Let's go through...
Nice. That's a terrible place to hit him.
It is. It's right in the taint. Oh, I got him.
You did it.
I did it. Even low level. Cool.
Look at you doing great.
Yeah. So the nice thing of the nice thing about defeating the Chocobo Eater is that you get a free Chocobo ride for the first time.
Have you an interest in renting some chocobos? As a token of our gratitude, the first time is free of charge. Please, ask the attendant if you wish to rent.
Thank you so much for saving the chocobos.
Aw. So fun thing about Rin is that you can recruit Rin to play Blitzball for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I thought it was fun. Woo!
I mean, SpongeBob is at home under the water. Makes sense.
That's really funny. I did not know that. That's...
And also to answer your
Summoners
question
and
of who
Guardians.
is Tom Kenny, his credits are over 500
Oh boy.
in IMDb. Yeah,
Wow.
he's done a lot.
Okay, so it's 10:14. The next bit of our journey is gonna be a lot of grinding. Oh, look at that cute boy. So I think what we'll do, let's rent a chocobo, and we're gonna do the fast, version, and then we're gonna come back. So, essentially, what this is, we've got our chocobo music, which is friggin' wonderful. Is that once you rent a chocobo, you don't have any encounters, so you can just like cream through this next part. But it is good to actually run it because leveling up is important for the next bit. So you'll see that there are chests some places. Keep an eye out for those, but the other thing you're going to keep an eye out for are chocobo feathers on the ground. And we shall see here. There is one right here. And now that we've clicked on it, we are going to do some chocobo jumping around and flying. Whee! For some chests. But donk! Heat lance. Hold on 1 second.
This is actually the same music from 7.
Is it the same chocobo music?
It's the same music, but to a different rhythm.
Oh. So there's a primer there. Ba-da-da.
To be specific, I should say it's the same melody, but to a different rhythm.
Is there? I thought there was one over here, but I might be wrong. There's Shalinda. We'll talk to her later. Oh, I remember, feel like now that I have been crawled on by at least 2 ants, I am now just chronically itchy.
I feel you.
Da 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 da.
Yeah, same melody in most Final Fantasy games. Interesting. Yeah, I like that's another through line between all the games is the similar music. I know the prelude title music is also very similar.
Okay. Might have missed one. Here's one.
One thing I really liked back in the day is Bucky and I played a lot of FFR, which was Flash Revolution, which was DDR with your fingers. John was way better at the game than me. He's a drummer. He can do things like that. But one of the songs we used to do was Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 battle music back to back. And it would just fade into each song. And you got to hear how similar the songs was, but how they all had their own feel and texture to them. It was awesome.
And that's that chest we saw over there. We got a fortune spear,
Nice.
which is dope. I think those unlock luck spaces. Oh, Waka! We're gonna give him money, but we're just doing our thing right now. Just chocobo time. So, I believe if you get knocked off by the chocobo eater, you are here. What?
I was about to say there's a chest right there.
Yep, yeah, I got it. Mars Crest. That's important for Auron's spiritual weapon, celestial weapon. Is there not a chocobo feather back here?
Breeding chocobos in Final Fantasy VII was frustrating. Hiru, you're not kidding. Also, what's up, Hiru? Yeah, I did the chocobo breeding nightmare to get Knights of the Round, and it was worth it for the summon, but holy shit was that an experience.
Is that it? I think that might be it.
To show the age of me and when I played
What
7,
are you doing?
the way I did it
see.
was I couldn't just have the
high
internet
road
up
ends
the
over-
whole time.
However,
For
we
game
have
facts,
sealed-
I printed out
You may ask
the way to do it because I couldn't be online all the time, and had the printed out form in front of me of all the chocobo combinations you had to do and all that stuff. Back in the days of dial-up.
Yep. Okay.
Only recent deal with it was for Nice of the Round. Yeah, Nice of the Round, and also I can't remember if W Summon was part of that or Mime. There was another ability that you needed the chocobo for, but Nice of the Round was absolutely the one to get.
Did that one.
Play the PC release of 7 was breeding just as buggy on PlayStation 1. It wasn't. I don't think I found it to be buggy at the time. What I felt it to be was unreliable because it was based on a chance rather than a set number. It it was entirely frustrating. Hiro is dead on with that.
Okay, so we did all of the Chocobo stuff in there, and we can... I think next time what we'll do is we will run around and we will do some grind stuff and get through the next part, which is on our way to the next temple, which is in Jose. So we've got a lot of stuff to do before we get there. So I think for tonight, we're going to wrap it up here. Josh, thank you so much for joining me and
you're welcome
on this.
Well, the person I was going to hang out with tonight was really busy, so
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me exit out of here so you guys don't hear the safe music. But
for audience sake, the person is Morgan.
Yeah. Oh, get rid of that. Yeah, it's always, I found it this interesting because normally I'm just doing this by myself and I get like self-conscious about like the breaks when I'm talking and like, oh, should I talk during cutscenes or not talk during cutscenes, or should I'm trying to focus on one thing but I'm trying to talk, and I really appreciated having someone on here to kind of fill the silences when I was working on getting us through. So yeah, hopefully maybe next time you can join, or I can have John on, fill up some chatter. But this was good.
Yeah, I know John loves his Final Fantasy as well.
Yes. John has a Final Fantasy tattoo. He's got the 7 logo on his arm, I think, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I who knows if I'll ever get it, but the Final Fantasy 7 world map is planned, or who knows if it'll get there, to be on my right arm as well.
Oh. I didn't know that. I was thinking the other day about what Final Fantasy X tattoo I would get if I were to get one. And I was thinking about, there's the each Aeon has its own symbol. I was thinking of, or like temple has its own symbol. I was thinking about the Xanarkand one. A lot, for better or worse, a lot of this game has very like tribal looking symbolism in it, or like style to it. Yeah, so I don't want it to look like I got like a weird tribal tattoo, but that, or like some of the glyphs are super gorgeous. So yeah, I was thinking about that the other day, and I Googled it, and I actually sent it to... What's funny is I sent this originally. I have a Discord group chat with Josh and Bucky where we send each other stuff, or we ask someone to pick up toilet paper on the way home or something. But I saw on Discord that I had my group chat with 2 people, and I saw Josh's name, and I put that a picture of a tattoo that I found in that chat, and it's like this incredible full back piece of Shiva and Ifrit, and I was like, damn, that is so crazy. And it turns out that it was not the chat with Bucky. It was the chat that we had started with Eugenio to talk about when we were going to play Phasmophobia. So I felt so bad. I like messaged the next day because like Josh was like, did you mean to send that to Eugenio? And I was like, what? So I had to apologize to him the next day and be like, I'm sorry, you probably were like, what the fuck? This has nothing to do with Phasmophobia.
No, I thought it was cool nonetheless.
Yeah, he did. And it's I mean, it was a really cool looking, like, they committed. I don't know if I can show it on my
if it's on Twitter or something, you probably just repost it.
Yeah, I don't think I put it on Twitter. I think I just had it on damn Jesse Hands. I think I just sent it to you. Let's see. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, it's like a full crazy back piece with Shiva and Ifrit, and like that. I mean, that person freaking committed. It's beautifully done. But yeah, I don't know. And of course the like the logo of like Yuna dancing is like a very gorgeous, iconic image. But I don't know. I don't know what I would do or where I would get it. I'm gonna think about it though.
Before we close out, Hero said One Winged Angel Sephiroth is one that they wish they can get, and Told suggested the Xanarkin Abe's logo.
Xanarkin Abe's logo. I'm gonna look that up because I think I know what that looks like, but Xanarkin Abe's logo. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes. I know exactly what that is. I don't think I recognized it as the Xanarkin Abe's logo as much as I recognize it as like Titus's symbol. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got an earring of it. It's all over. Oh, God, I'm so itchy. We need to put down all of these ant traps in this house because I'm losing it a little bit. But yeah, okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me and Josh on this. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and being so active and chat. That makes my day. And I've had a really stressful, overwhelming time lately at work, and this has been a very nice break and relief from that. So I really appreciate you guys making my night better. So thank you again. You can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven. You can find the podcast at TI_pod from the Twitch layout. We had a new episode release on Monday. And tomorrow I think we're going to be streaming some Elder Scrolls Online with Getting Lucky with Bucky, and we'll see how that goes. We might have some more people joining us, or it might just be me and Josh joining Bucky for that. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and I will see you guys soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.